Hi! So the books that I read in February were a lot better than the month was, because the month was not so great, but the books were overall wonderful. I am going to drink some water, grab yours, hydrate, and let's talk about these books. Okay, so the first book that I read was a children's book by George Takei. It's excellent historical book about the Japanese incarceration camps during World War II. It is very age appropriate for like a small child. My lost freedom along with my lost thoughts because brain fog. Okay, so George Takei was incarcerated during World War II as a child. And so this is very age appropriate, a great history book to introduce the subject to children. It is nothing graphic at all. It's told from the innocent perspective of a child who's, like maybe 5 or something, and how the government people show up at his door and they have to move, and he plays with other kids at the camp and just like all that sort of stuff. And by camp, it's an incarceration camp. It's not a summer camp, but it is, so it doesn't go like, it's definitely not graphic. It's very age appropriate. I would happily give this to like a little kid who could start to learn about those concepts. It was a very good, very impactful book because you're seeing it from the innocence of a child. And yeah, I was like, at first I was kind of like, okay, how is he going to write this book with this topic for this age? And like, I was very pleasantly surprised. I really appreciated the POV of a kid who's completely innocent, doesn't know what's going on, but as an adult reading it, you can understand the reality of what is going on around him at the time. And yeah, so it's a really good history book for a kiddo to start with. I read the second book in the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Meh. Anyway, so I really like this one. I like this one better than the first one even, partially because I already know the characters, and so you can just jump in with the fun of it. The other thing I like is the subject matter of this murder mystery is so fun. For me in particular, it just like hit the right notes of exactly my taste. So I like this. I absolutely loved it. It was so fun. Yeah. No, that was good. I will be reading books 3 and 4 and 5, and I don't know if there's another one coming out, but it's gonna happen. I love these old people. They're great. And it has that fun British humor that's just, it works so well. It works so well. The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. I really enjoyed this book. It's more of a literary fiction than a romance. There's a minimal subplot of a romance, but it is much more about these two women who get to know each other whilst in the hospital, and like they get out of the hospital, but they meet there. One is a young woman who is trying to make it, in the corporate world, and she idolizes this other woman, this older woman who is kind of a titan of industry, and she's a grouchy old woman, and like, very stubborn, and she's made her way in the world, and they connect in a weird way, and it is their relationship and how they are learning to live again. And can you start over and start living the way you want at any point in your life? Are you too old? Are you too young? What the world perceives you as, or what you have perceived yourself in your box that you put yourself into, can you break out of that? And how? And is it right? Is it wrong? Just all the things. It's about work-life balance. Is there a balance? And really the crisis of mortality, and each of them facing that in different ways, and what to do with their life. So I really enjoyed this book. It thematically had great things to think about and to say. It was fun. I love the old lady. I love another character I'm not going to mention, but I liked it. Yeah, I did. I really like this one. Then I read, okay. I forgot. Okay, I read The Spell Shop, which, my water is in the way. Hold that thought. Okay, I was going to knock over my water, and I don't want to do that, because that would be bad, and also normal for me. The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is cozy fantasy at its finest. There's a talking plant in here named Kaz, who's my favorite character. I really liked it. Okay, what is it about? Oh, also just fun. It has purple edges. I used to hate sprayed edges because back in ye olden days, when they were first sprayed, they used to get on your hands all the time, but now you can, like, they've perfected it mostly, so they, like, it doesn't really get the ink on your hands when you read, and that's so awesome. That's not the point of this. So this Spell Shop is about a librarian, Keela, okay, the Spell Shop is about a librarian named Keela who this book opens with her smuggling books from the library she works at out to the island she grew up on as a very small child that she doesn't really remember too much about. And she is smuggling the books away because, like, you hear about this revolution or something in her fantasy world, and they have burned the library. So it's illegal to take the books out of the library, but she's a librarian. She's to save the books. So of course she saves the books, and so she has to hide that she has saved these books. But in doing so, there is a romantic subplot with a cute person. This world is so, you can, like, I don't know if you can truly tell from the cover, but it is just, it's magical, it's colorful, it's vibrant. It's so darling and, like, just truly charming. Yes, it's just such a fun world. So the Spell Shop is really her bringing magic back to the island, and just kind of a day in the life of her. And she opens, like, a spell shop to hide that she has books because it's illegal to have them. And so, like, yes, that's why it's the Spell Shop. And Kaz, the talking plant, best character. It's wonderful. I could gush about this and say the same, like, 12 words, like, for an hour. So I'm going to stop talking about it now, but it was really it maybe my favorite. Oh gosh, I just looked at other books that I read this month. It was so good. I had some really good and some rare books. Enter Wilds by Carlos Whitaker. It is, I just love his books. He has wisdom. It's a Christian worldview, so it is a little bit preachy if you aren't a Christian. Like, I wouldn't suggest this book, but it's just lots of wisdom and the joy of finding the wilderness in life with God. And boy, are we all in wildernesses. So yes, I really like this one. The Hexologist by Josiah Bancroft. Oh my gosh, my foot's asleep. The main characters are a husband and wife duo, and they are detectives in this fantasy world, and they are the absolute best part of this book. Yes, it goes into politics. It's a fun fantasy world. I did think the pacing was a little bit off at points, like it would slow way down in between these spurts of action sequences that were very fast-paced and very engaging, and so I was a little thrown off at times by the pacing. But other than that, and I like the slower pacing points, and I like faster pacing spots. The way they connected did not flow as easily as I thought it should. So yes. But I really, really liked how do I say this? A character in a bag in this book. That is as non-spoilery as I can get. And I liked when the husband cooks for a character. That was fantastic. But truly my favorite thing was the relationship between the husband and wife duo. They are so supportive of each other, and they're unique personalities. They subvert so many tropes in this book, and I just absolutely I loved it. They are unconventional, and it was wonderful. I want more married couples to be featured in every genre that I read, because, and like fantasy, it's so fun when you are like thrust into a relationship. Like, they already have their shorthand. It takes a deft hand of writing to immediately immerse you when authors like are putting you directly in their relationship. I found their relationship refreshing. That is a word I would apply to this. I really, really enjoyed The Perfect Rom-Com by Melissa Ferguson. This is her newest romance book. It is about a wannabe author who ends up ghostwriting for a famous romance author. And that romance author's agent is the love interest, who has turned down her manuscript, and like really brutally. And we see it at the very beginning of like him turning down the manuscript. And then they make a deal that she will ghostwrite for this author, the romance author, and in time he will help her get published with her book. And it was truly a sweet romance. I liked it a lot. There are funny moments, but it had so much heart. The characters are great. Yes. Then I read one of my favorite books. Sarah Monson outdid herself. Oh my gosh. Okay. An Overdue Match by Sarah Monson. It's the first in like a series of books or something. Okay, so she has alopecia. You can't tell because she's wearing a wig. An Overdue Match is a darling romance. This is it my favorite Sarah Monson book? I feel like Amanda will always be my favorite, just because like how personal the chronic illness representation in that book is. But to date, this is, I think, her best writing. And yes, so good. Okay, so the main character has alopecia. And her former fiance broke up with her over it, and was like, dude, you're ugly. I mean, he didn't say it that way, but that's how she internalized it. And so she doesn't date. She moves to this cute little small town. She's a librarian. There have been a couple librarians in this month's reading, which, hey, I will always read books about people who read books. My mom and I had that in common. We're always like, oh, there's a librarian in a book? Okay, we need to read it. Something I loved about this is just the representation that you get here. So you have someone with alopecia, someone with anxiety, someone who is, just dealing with eyelash. Short King as a love interest. He is tattooed and has asthma and is misunderstood, and he is just an absolutely wonderful character. Yes, so the main character, this romance, it's so cute. This romance, it made me laugh a lot. It also was just like, it was darling. Like, that's the word that just keeps coming to mind. So this librarian has taken dating off the table for herself. And he is trying to convince her otherwise. In the process, she, as a librarian, knows what books people check out in this small town. And she tries to be a matchmaker by matching people up by the books they read. But she's terrible at it. So it's hilarious, and I love that aspect, that she's so freaking bad at it. It's really good. Yep, I loved it. It was so cute. Read it. An Overdue Match. Great title. That one and The Spell Shop might be my favorite books from the month. Oh gosh, but then I read Melissa Ferguson's and Courtney Walsh's books. I don't have to pick a favorite. You don't have to pick a favorite, Julie. That's fine. You can have more than one best friend. That's how life works. You can have more than one best friend. I read A Dawn of Onyx. This is straight up romantasy. It was like the right book that I wanted to read at the time. It's very formulaic for romantasy. I did like a twist at the end. It's very slow burn. It is an open door at the end. But it's a very slow burn romance. Yeah, I feel like it was predictable. The word count was judiciously used. Like, it was well worth the pages that it had. It went by faster than I thought it would. It's like 400 pages, and I thought it was like 250. Like, it went by quickly. Yeah, I liked it. Is it my all-time favorite? No. But it was like formulaic, and I wanted a romantasy, and that was great. So, good job. The next two are both by Christy Boyce. I hope that's how you say it. Anyway, these are YA romances, contemporary romances. They both deal with Dungeons and Dragons, and which I have never played. I have heard. I listened to a friend's podcast as they played D&D, and I was so lost. I did learn a little bit by the end of it, and then I did watch the D&D movie and saw the reactions to it. So, I know the most that someone who knows the least about it can. Anyway, I think these books were really great, and you don't have to know anything about D&D to like them. They are a fun, nerdy blend. So you could read them out of order. It's not even that important. Like, if you really want to read them in order, I think this one is technically first. Dungeons and Drama. So this one is the daughter of a, like, I don't know if it's a comic book store or like a game store, wherever they have, I think it's a game store. Is it a game store? Anyway, her dad owns this place where they have like D&D games and sell a bunch of stuff and whatever. She's always hated that. She's a big theater girl. She has to work at the store. She ends up being a part of this D&D game, and it is a high school romance. She is over the top, and she like is able to, she finds her theater fun in the D&D, and that was really. It was really sweet. Like, these just made me smile. Like, that's the kind of books they are. Like, I'll reread them because they just make me laugh. They make me smile. It's adorably YA. Great. Okay, the second one, Dating and Dragons. Again, like, I feel like they're in the same, obviously, our world, like, same world universe, but, like, you don't have to read them. There are no character overlaps that I can think of at the moment. I don't know, maybe there are, and I don't know. I've slept since then. Okay, Dating and Dragons. I honestly, also, I don't know which one I liked better. I don't have to pick one, remember, Julie? You don't have to pick one. It's just fine. Okay, Dating and Dragons. So she's the new girl at school, and she joins this D&D campaign, and there's a guy in the D&D group, hello, and they have a group rule that you can't date somebody in your group, like you're in your D&D campaign. So they are dealing with that, and there are budding emotions, and yes, it's cute. I like it. Both of these are really sweet. Good time. The Crime Brulee Bake Off by Rebecca Connolly. I just tried to explain this and did it so poorly, so I'm going to try this again. All right. Claire Walker is an amateur baker, and she goes to basically like, it's like a Great British Bake Off type show, and they film on an English manor estate, and the Viscount of that manor knows that the manor needs the money that the show brings. Well, somebody is murdered in relation to the baking show. So they have to team up and figure out, I mean, they don't want to team up, but they like end up teaming up to figure out who killed the person, or everything will be shut down and he won't get the money for the manor to keep it going, and she won't like get to continue her dream of doing this baking thing, and lots of stuff rolled into that. It was fun. It was easy reading, just a delightful little mystery. So yes, The Crime Brulee. Also, props to the title, The Crime Brulee Bake Off. Her name was Mary Catherine. It was the second children's book that I read this month. It's another historical nonfiction. It was great. It taught me something that I did not know. Mary Catherine Goddard is the only woman whose name appears on the Declaration of Independence. And that's pretty dang cool. Also very brave of her, because she would have been killed at the time for that. She was ahead of her time and ran a printing press through which the Declaration went through. And so she put the printing credit, as Mary Catherine, her name on there. And yeah, it's really cool. I didn't know that. This little children's book taught me that. It's so cool to learn about it. It made me extremely happy, and I'm definitely buying that for Raspberry at some time, because I need her to know how amazing women are. How brave an act of defiance and being yourself is. Yes, I love it. She used her voice without using her voice, and I love it. Okay, so then, oh gosh, then I read a book I didn't like. Okay, The Holiday Plan by Emma Linden. Sorry. Okay. I only finished this because it was one of my 25 like backlist books to read. And I was like halfway into it by the time I wanted to DNF it. And then I was like, oh, just finish it. It'll be easier than picking up another one to check off that list. So I was like, I kept wanting it to turn around, but at that point I was like, it's not going to turn around. Anyway, I did not love this book. This takes place on Valentine's Day weekend, and the main character, like, is escaping a breakup and all this kind of stuff, so she wants to run away, and books a weekend somewhere else, at, like, a hotel or resort or something. Well, little does she know that the hotel resort thingy has been taken over by a romance conference, and the single dad, who is the keynote speaker of this romance conference, is the love interest. And I love that setup. I think that's a fantastic setup. And then I was super, super bored reading it. So that's a bummer. I even bought the audiobook thinking, hey, maybe this will help. And the audiobook narrator was like kind of whispery with her voice, and did not help at all. So no go for that. It didn't hold my attention like I wanted it to. And I found the romance lackluster. And when a book becomes a chore, it's not for me. So I'm sure that other people can find this utterly charming feel-good romance as such. I just didn't. So the end. We're not going to talk about that one anymore. Okay. The last book that I read in February is Emma St. Clair's Runaway Bride and Prejudice. Okay, that's cute. That's a cute title. I really enjoyed this book. It is in the Appy's hockey series. So I would suggest reading those books before this one. They're like so many series are connected and stuff with these characters. But I do think it's more fun if you know who this character is going in, like the guy character that I'm obviously pointing to. Okay, so this is a setup. All right. The coach of this hockey team, this amateur hockey team, is it an amateur? I think it's supposed to be an amateur hockey team. Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. The daughter of the coach, on her wedding day, her fiance is cheating on her with her cousin, who is also her bridesmaid. So, and the person who discovers it is this random dude on the team who's kind of the bad boy of the team. And so he gets accidentally roped into this thing, and she ends up going on their honeymoon. Like, she doesn't marry the dude. She ends up going on their honeymoon and asks him, this feller, to come along with her. And the coach also asks him to go along to make sure his daughter is okay. So he comes along on her honeymoon, and it is about them falling in love. It's real cute. It's swooning romance, closed door. Yes, I like this whole series. It's a typical Emma St. Clair book, which I love. So February was a good reading month, bad health month, but I made it. Okay. Yep. I want you to know that this world is truly a better place because you are in it, and I'm so glad that you are here with me. I will see you soon. Bye. The books that I read. Oh gosh, I'm tired. That really came out, huh? So. Very important. That was weird. My foot is completely asleep now. I feel like Lilliputians are going to come release my foot from its chains. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Made it. Yay. February. That happened.